Welcome everyone to the Hua Sect Recap channel. If you enjoy the content, please give it a like, share it, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to get the latest and earliest chapters. As time passed, the seasons shifted 2 or 3 times. During that period, the protagonist had perfected the creation of his dantian, while deeply engraving all the essential martial arts techniques needed to survive in this body. From the 5 elements footwork to the 5 elements movement technique and the shifting lightness skill. Everything contributed to enabling him to achieve peak speed in an instant. Combined with the White Lightning 10-stage technique, a martial art that harnesses thunder energy. At this point, the protagonist's body had become robust. With toned muscles and a clearly defined six-pack, he had reached the 4th layer of cultivation. And everything was progressing smoothly as desired. Suddenly, a surge of pressure swept across the ground, and Jin Eon lightly propelled himself, causing the earth and stones to tremble. A leaf floating in midair, affected by his power, disintegrated in the blink of an eye. Yet, the protagonist remained unsatisfied, his heart still yearning for more. At that moment, a call rang out, catching his attention. Young Master Jin Eon. A young man respectfully stepped forward and said, "It's been a long time since we last met. I am Mok and Seop. From the escort team." He bowed deeply and continued, "I bring a letter from the clan. Please take a look." The protagonist stood up and casually extended his hand, urging him to hand over the letter. "All right, let me see it." Seop, still in shock, hesitated and thought to himself, "Is this the young master I once knew? Why is he so different now?" His thoughts were interrupted by Jin Eon's irritated voice, "Hurry up. My hand's getting tired." Seop quickly presented the letter. The two sat at a table, and Jin Eon carefully scanned each line. As he read, he mused, "Father is bedridden with illness?" His face showed clear confusion. Why doesn't it mention the cause of the illness? Seop avoided the protagonist's sharp gaze and replied, "It's likely due to the Uyang clan. You know, we still have to pay protection fees to their merchant group. The amount keeps increasing and now exceeds our ability to pay." Jin Eon sighed. What has the Uyang clan done to deserve collecting protection fees from our Unha merchant group? Seop, furious, nearly roared, "Nothing at all. Those bastards just..." Jin Eon cut him off with a cold voice. "Which bastards?" Taking a deep breath, Seop continued, "The Tu Thien faction imposes unreasonable taxes on our trade. They say the Uyang clan only intervenes when the main clan of the Unha merchant group faces trouble. Then they ignore us and do nothing." Seop sighed wearily. "Uyang Hu, the head of the escort team in this city, makes it so no one dares to complain." Jin Eon looked at him, stunned. "Uyang Hu? I've heard his name in the martial world. If I know his name, he's definitely no ordinary man." The protagonist smirked triumphantly. "So in his eyes, we're just lowly scum, right?" He spoke decisively. "If we deal with the Uyang clan, everything will be fine, won't it?" Seop looked at him, thinking, "Deal with them?" He replied, "Actually, there's another reason the clan leader fell ill. There was a conflict between the 2nd and 3rd young masters. The clan leader witnessed his sons fighting for power and collapsed." Thinking of that scene, Jin Eon sighed. The clan leader must have been deeply shocked. Siblings drawing swords against each other in front of their father. What were they thinking? Seop hurriedly explained, "But please don't worry. This won't affect you." Before he could finish, Jin Eon glared at him sharply. "No, I can't ignore this." Seop, slightly panicked, stammered, "Yes?" Jin Eon stood abruptly, his voice stern. "I've decided to return to the clan immediately." A while later, in another corner of the main residence, Seop slammed the table in astonishment, telling his teammates, "The young master is completely different now. He's truly become a formidable martial artist. With an unparalleled physique." His teammates looked at each other and burst into laughter. Young Master Jin Eon, a martial artist? That gambling, womanizing playboy? He's probably a master of the bedroom or a gambling expert now. A red-haired youth sighed. "If he's a martial artist, then I'm a renowned hero of the martial world." They laughed heartily, but suddenly a menacing figure appeared. Han Yopi, the deputy leader of the Unha merchant group's escort team, sternly reprimanded, "The young master seems to have recovered his spirit remarkably well. He's had a talent for martial arts since childhood. So it's no surprise he's now a martial artist. He turned to Inseop and asked, "When will the young master return to the clan?" Inseop replied promptly, "Right now, sir." Han Yopi nodded decisively. "Let's go. We'll greet the young master." Someone muttered, "Do we really have to go out there? Deputy leader? Stop talking nonsense. Don't forget who pays us." At that moment, Jin Eon stood before the gate of the Unha merchant group, marveling at the surroundings. So vast, he thought to himself. I've only heard of the Unha merchant group's reputation before, but seeing its terrifying scale with my own eyes now, Jin Eon was truly raised in luxury and wealth. The protagonist turned to some nearby maids. "I'll go see father now. You all rest." They replied in unison. "Yes, young master." Walking on the stone path, Jin Eon thought, "No one's coming to greet a young master like me?" Just as he finished the thought, the entire Unha merchant group rushed out with swords, forming two neat rows. They let him stand in the middle and shouted in unison, "Welcome back, young master." Han Yopi bowed respectfully. Han Yopi, deputy leader, greets you. He looked at Jin Eon, marveling, "I almost didn't recognize you. It's fortunate you're still healthy, what a great blessing." A brown-haired youth thought, "The deputy leader has no dignity." Recalling Jin Eon's past, the young master was always looked down upon, even by the deputy leader. He assumed Han Yopi would be mocked again. But Jin Eon looked at Han Yopi, flashed a cheerful smile, and clapped hands. "Such a greeting for a useless guy like me? Isn't it a bit much? Thank you all." The crowd stared at him as if he were an alien creature. "What, he just thanked us? That arrogant guy said that?" Inseop spoke up. "I told you, the young master has changed a lot. It's like a mysterious master returning home." Han Yopi watched Jin Eon's back intently, smiling with satisfaction. "And he's on our side. This is surely a great fortune for the merchant group." Han Yopi led Jin Eon to a closed room and said, "We've informed the clan leader of your return." Jin Eon nodded. "Good, thank you." At that moment, another person approached. He scratched his head and exclaimed, "Well, look who's here." He placed a hand on the protagonist's shoulder. Han Yopi introduced, "This is Li Ya Eon, the third young master of the Unha merchant group." Ya Eon sneered with contempt. "Is this Jin Eon, that useless lecher?" Jin Eon remained silent, listening quietly. Ya Eon continued, "Why does your face look so different? You even dare to glare at me?" He gripped Jin Eon's shoulder tightly as a warning, but it seemed to have no effect. Han Yopi, worried, recalled past scenes and thought, "Damn, he's about to get beaten right after meeting." Han Yopi quickly pulled Ya Eon's hand away, awkwardly saying, "Two brothers reuniting after so long must be joyful, right?" But Ya Eon slapped him mercilessly. "Who are you to touch me?" Han Yeop's cheek turned red. Jin Eon silently observed the scene, his patience reaching its limit. Ya Eon continued mocking, "Isn't that playboy trouble enough? Even the deputy leader dares to look down on me?" Jin Eon's eyes turned icy, and he thought, "I need to teach this brat a lesson so he won't dare act arrogant in front of me again." His hand lightly brushed Ya Eon's face as he spoke softly, "Hey, Ya Eon." Before Ya Eon could finish his sentence, a punch landed squarely on his insolent face. Ya Eon's face contorted, he spat blood, and collapsed. Han Yopi was stunned, unable to believe his eyes. Ya Eon, both shocked and terrified, muttered, "What was that?" Jin Eon extended a hand toward him. "Little brother, I was really nervous coming back here." He pressed heavily on Ya Eon's shoulder, causing him to wince in pain, his screams echoing non-stop. "This damned dog." Hearing those words only made Jin Eon grip tighter, his face radiating a terrifying aura filled with killing intent. "Did you just call me a damned dog? It seems you no longer value your life. You should call me big brother." The next morning at the Unha merchant group, the escorts gathered outside a room, buzzing with discussion about something. A handsome man approached, curious. "This is Li Hua Eon, the second young master of the Unha merchant group." The steward introduced. Hua Eon looked toward their father's room and asked Han Yopi, "What's all the commotion?" Han Yopi replied, "Sir, the first and third young masters are clashing inside." Hua Eon thought, the third must be causing trouble for him again. He asked worriedly, "Why didn't you stop them instead of standing here?" He rushed into the room, intending to stop his younger brother from attacking his older brother. "Hey, stop it." But upon entering, he saw Jin Eon disciplining Ya Eon right outside their father's room. "Speak quietly. We're in front of father's room." Ya Eon's face was scratched and badly bruised from the lesson the protagonist had given him. Jin Eon turned, asking, "Hua Eon?" Hua Eon was stunned by the scene before him. Later, they sat at a table with freshly brewed tea. Hua Eon sipped his tea, quietly observing Jin Eon standing beside Ya Eon, who was forced to kneel. Hua Eon spoke softly. "I heard you've returned. You look much healthier than before." Jin Eon nodded. "Yes, I'm completely healthy now." The protagonist glanced at the wound on his brother's hand and asked, "Was that caused by this brat too?" Hua Eon gave an awkward smile, unsure how to respond. "It's not that serious." Before he could finish, Jin Eon raised his hand and delivered a sharp slap to Ya Eon's swollen face. "Don't you understand that you're not supposed to draw a sword against your brother? If you want to keep getting beaten like this, remember that well." Ya Eon stammered. All right. Hua Eon, witnessing this punishment, trembled, while the kneeling Ya Eon was utterly bewildered. "I was defeated so easily? He used to be so weak. This can't be happening." Hua Eon thought. He really beat the third to a pulp. "Is this the best way to return home?" He spoke. "So, what happened at the medical institute you were at? You seem like a completely different person." The protagonist smiled. "Really? You've got a good eye." Suddenly, he noticed a list on the table and opened it. "What's all this?" Hua Eon explained. "Oh, that's the list of workers I need to bring to tomorrow's merchant group meeting." Jin Eon scanned the names, thinking, "I wanted to find out who sent that doctor to harm me. But maybe I don't need to anymore." A sinister smile curved his lips. "You've listed everyone, from the deputy captain of the guards to the gatekeepers. Yang Hu. So it's him." Jin Eon put the list down, looking at Hua Eon and Ya Eon with a cold, threatening gaze. "If either of you is involved with Yang Hu, confess now." Both froze in shock. Hua Eon, anxious, said, "You really think that's possible?" Ya Eon, trying to back him up, angrily added, "Yes, that's absurd. I'd rather die than let another clan take over our family's legacy. The Unha merchant group is the foundation our father worked so hard to build." The protagonist smiled, satisfied. "I'm glad to hear that. Then I won't have to deal with either of you." He stood abruptly and asked, "Will all the merchant group leaders attend tomorrow's meeting?" Hua Eon nodded in confirmation. Jin Eon instructed, "I see. I'll be at that meeting too." With that, the protagonist hurriedly stepped out, leaving Hua Eon and Ya Eon sweating profusely. Hua Eon, bewildered, said, "Where's he going?" Jin Eon replied, "To see father." Both pairs of eyes were stunned. "What happened at that institute?" Ya Eon, frustrated, punched the table and shouted, "I should have gone to Mount Hua. I'd be stronger than him by now." Arg. In another room, a voice rang out, "It's me, father." The protagonist entered where his father, Lee Sungmin, the head of the Unha merchant group, was resting. He looked at Jin Eon and asked, "Jin Eon, is that you? What's the commotion outside?" The protagonist evaded. "It's nothing, father." He sat down and spoke softly. "I heard you're unwell due to stress from the merchant group's affairs. Right?" Sungmin nodded. "Yes, I'm always stressed, but this old body can't handle it anymore." He raised a frail hand to touch Jin Eon's face. "You've changed so much. For the better. Your face looks different. Are you really Jin Eon?" He smiled happily. "I'm glad to see you so healthy." Jin Eon replied, "Yes." In his heart, he thought, strange. He recalled his own past. Growing up without parents, not knowing what it was like to have a father. But in Jin Eon's memories, Sungmin was a great and noble man. The small hands his father once held had now grown strong and mature. The protagonist held his father's hand, wondering, since when did those hands become so frail and small? He spoke with determination. "Father, don't worry. We just need to eliminate the source of your stress." Sungmin looked puzzled. Jin Eon continued, "I'll handle it, so don't worry too much." His chilling, eerie smile could make anyone shiver in fear. "It's nothing. Just rest easy." Sungmin's heart skipped a beat, thinking, why is he smiling so sinisterly? So terrifying. The next day, at the Unha Merchant Group's conference, everyone gathered in full Yang Hu, the captain of the merchant group's guard team, was present. A subordinate whispered to him, "Captain, isn't that the eldest son, Jin Eon?" Jin Eon sat with arms crossed. His expression stern, his gaze distant. "What's he doing here?" Yang Hu sneered, probably worried about his position. After reading the general report, Hua Eon spoke. "Does anyone have other opinions? If not, we'll move on to." A hand shot up. "I do." Yang Hu smirked sinisterly. "I heard the eldest young master lacks a personal guard. I have someone to recommend." Someone angrily crushed a teacup. Half the merchant group already belongs to the Yang family. And he still doesn't stop? Suddenly, a toothpick from somewhere struck, shattering the teacup. Yang Hu laughed lightly. "Sorry, my hand slipped." No one dared utter a word. He smugly asked, "Anyone object to my proposal?" No one spoke. As he was about to continue, "If no one objects, then," the protagonist stood up. His voice resolute. "I have a complaint." He walked toward Yang Hu and declared, "I also have a proposal of my own." Pointing straight at his face, the protagonist said, "I propose expelling the guard captain." Yang Hu. The crowd gasped. Yang Hu's guards mocked. "Are you joking? Don't you know how much the captain cares about the merchant group's security?" Yang Hu laughed loudly. "Ha ha ha, you want to expel me?" He smirked arrogantly. "You must have forgotten. This isn't something you can decide." Jin Eon grinned. "Is that so? Should I raise my king's fist to make you fear?" A devastating punch carrying terrifying force shot straight toward the captain. A tremendous shockwave erupted from the protagonist's punch, reducing the surrounding earth and stones to dust. Stepping out from the misty haze, the protagonist spoke softly. "You must have forgotten. Without me here, your strength is an illusion. Unfortunately for you, this Unha merchant group belongs to me, not some filthy pest like you."